Good thing there's resolve. Love the love, resolve the mess. There was a simple, straightforward way to grow your wealth. A global credit union certificate account is the solution you've been looking for. You choose how much money you want to invest. Pick a time frame and then lock in your rate so it's not affected by market fluctuations. Then sit back and watch as you earn dividends. Open your certificate account today. Stop by any branch or visit globalcu.org to get started. Your future self will love you for it. Here in the high desert, life can be unpredictable. Is it broken or just a sprain? At Barstow Community Hospital, now you can secure your spot in line. Just visit barstowhospital.com. Select your preferred arrival time and stay home until it's time to go. If it's a serious emergency, always call 911. Barstow Community's quicker service. Just another way that and cold water and clean. To say, hurry boy, it's waiting up for you. Dogs fly out every night as they grow restless, longing for some solitary home. I know that I must do what's right. Sure as Kilimanjaro rises like a Everest above the sand. I seek to cure what's deep inside, frightened of this thing that I've become. Okay, guys, good evening, everyone. So it's 6:30 on the dot. Sorry if you guys weren't getting my background music in the waiting room. I do apologize. I see everyone's coming in slowly but surely. We're gonna let everybody in. We'll start in a few minutes. So Phil, I know you're online, and a bunch of others. Were you guys, just give me a thumbs up, were you guys hearing that the music in the background, or you guys
It sounded like a TV in the background, and it was like very muted.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have the TV on the background, so it must have been somebody else.
No, I'm talking about your song or your music. I couldn't hear it at all. It just sounded like in the distance.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's fine. It didn't have to be super loud. So good evening, everyone. We got a lot of people joining us, and we're really excited to have our first network and tech night for FlippBidd. We got an awesome lineup. We have guest appearances by Jimmie and Arlene Williams, who have an amazing
coaching program that's coming out, and they're rolling out to the to our real estate investment community. We have launched our new version of FlippBidd a couple days ago with pro services. We're going to go through that. I know a lot of you are fairly new to the community, but I see some familiar names that have already joined our community, have a full active license. So with that said, oh, and of course, our first of many TKO Technology Knockout Series that allows you to get a full view of real estate investment products that are out there that are like or similar to FlippBidd. And what we do is highlight some of their main features and value propositions, and we really let you decide. And today, when we get to it, we're going to be speaking about Investorlift versus FlippBidd. And a lot of people, you know, they're familiar with Investorlift, so hopefully we can go ahead and break everything down to you guys and see what helps you with your specific operational needs. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining today. Really appreciate you guys jumping on. We have a pretty good turnout. I'm not gonna lie. We had about 30 plus registrants, and we're excited to get this going. So with that said, I know a lot of people like to sit in the background. We like to keep this completely interactive. Does anybody want to start? Well, I'm gonna let Phil start because someone's got to break the ice, right? Phil, tell everybody who you are, what you do, and where do you live, and maybe we'll go around the board and just introduce everyone so we can get acclimated with each other real quick. We'll give it 5 minutes.
Hey everyone, Phil Augustin here. You may have either spoken to me on the phone or have received numerous of my emails, and I am the COO of FlippBidd, handling everything from everything operational in terms of setting SOPs and reaching out to people, having to wear many hats because we are a growing company, and Ken and I both wear many hats. So I just want to welcome everyone. Oh, by the way, I'm also from Jersey City, and I just want to welcome everyone to the first network and tech night with the first TKO series, that is Investorlift versus FlippBidd. So, hey everyone, and welcome.
Thanks so much, Phil. I see some familiar faces here. My buddy John Robertson's on. So John, why don't you say hello to everyone? I know this is your third time on our demo and networking event. So why don't you say hello to everyone to get to know you?
Hey, it's good to meet you guys. I'm an investor out of the Memphis market looking for wholesale and sub-2 deals or creative finance deals.
There you go. So if you got them, upload them. John's waiting for those notifications go out live so he can connect with you right through the application. Anybody else, they want to just introduce themselves, what you do, because guess what? We're going to have some people on here that can help you either indirectly through the application or directly just connect with you, because we're going to be able to, share everyone's experience and just quickly just introduce each other. This is a community. So who's next? Who wants to introduce themselves?
I'll go.
All right.
Yeah, my name is Chris, dispo manager for a company called Huntington Equity. We provide wholesale properties all off market, direct to seller, but usually we're breaking into the Florida market, mainly Texas, Tennessee, Chicago or Illinois area, and then California as well. So that's what see properties pop up in Texas or any of those areas. It's probably me because we get quite a bit, but yeah, I'm just trying to move them.
Yeah, Chris, finally nice to meet you, man, because I know we've been going back and forth a bit. Yep. So you're crushing out there, dude. I see you uploaded a lot of properties. By the way, guys, great guy to know, awesome wholesaler, and he's all about his business. Some other familiar faces. Eureka's on here. She's been on our call. Hi, Eureka. How are you? Want to introduce yourself and just tell everybody what you do?
Hi, I'm Eureka. My last name is Walker, and I am in Georgia. I'm 35 minutes south of Atlanta. I have recently just gotten back into rehabbing, flips, resale, all of that stuff. And I'm currently looking for a funding partner. So if anybody's interested in getting some properties everywhere, not just here, contact me.
Hello, Ken. Hank.
For sure do that. Who's up next, guys? Who wants to introduce?
Hank. Hank. Yeah.
Hank.
Yeah,
Hey, Hank.
sorry about last week, Ken. My Wi-Fi's down.
No worries, Hank. Your Wi-Fi seems perfectly fine now, and you're on the right call. Let's put it that way, my
Yeah.
friend. So I'm glad to
Now,
have
Ken,
you
I
on
meant to
today.
let you guys know we buy properties in Central Florida, off-market properties.
Okay.
And my camera is not working. I don't know what's going on with my laptop.
Listen, listen, Hank. I told you we can fix some of the world's problems. We can't fix all the problems. So you might
Yes, you're right.
get a tech guy over there.
You're right. Yeah. I want to
Awesome.
fix this.
I'm glad to have you on, Hank. Hey, listen, guys, you got properties in Central Florida. I know we have a bunch that we're uploading in Orlando and Central Florida. We're having fun. We're getting a lot of feedback from you guys, and we love you. Hank, thanks for being on. See more familiar faces like Andre McCallan. How you doing, my man?
Man,
What's
how you
going
doing,
on?
Ken? I'm good, buddy. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing
Welcome,
well. I'm doing
everybody.
well.
My name is Andre. I'm actually in Northern Virginia, but my markets are Texas, Georgia, and Florida. We like to do creative financing. And so if you have properties that, we connect and fit our buy box, let me know. We'll definitely see if we can scoop them up and get some business done.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Andre. Thanks for sharing. And guys, great guy to know as well. He's all about his business. I think a lot of people on here are. Who's next? Who wants to just introduce themselves? Because like I said, you're gonna bump into each other one way or another on FlippBidd. I guarantee it. So you might as well match the text or voice with the name, with the face. So
I'll go. My name is Lee Bell. I'm basically on the private money side, so we do it nationwide, pretty much in about 40 states. So we provide all the fix and flip financing, DSCR financing, self-employed. So we do have a number of investors that we work with out of here. So I'm sure we can definitely partner up on some deals.
glad to meet you, Lee. You're gonna love today's event then, because we just added pro services. So keep an eye out on what I'm about to show you. It's gonna blow your mind. Go ahead, Phil.
Sounds good. Looking
Phil,
forward
you
to
wanna
it.
say something?
No, I was saying hello to Lee because I spoke to him the other day and I invited him personally, and I'm glad I see you online.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Nice having you, Lee. All right, guys. Who's next? Anybody else? Just a quick, hey, my name is, this is what I do, and let's chat. No? All right. Well, listen, we'll get to know each other. So for those of you guys that are a little bit camera shy, and it's absolutely okay. It's 6:30. We got kids running around going crazy. We just came off from a hard day at work, right? We're maybe not on our we're not looking at our Sunday best, whatever it may be. It's all good, because you know what? You just text on the messaging if you have any questions. My COO Phil will filter some of these questions after we do a demo, and any questions we have, we'll just share it. We'll allocate some time. We want to bring on our guests and then kind of go through what they do and how they can help the community, what's coming up with FlippBidd, and go right into our TKO series, and just share a little bit about what's happening, what's on the horizon, and what's late and great with FlippBidd. So with that said, if you have not downloaded the application, guys, I highly recommend you do, because this thing is pretty cool. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it. I'll just go into my backyard and show you what that user interface looks like from a, from your point of view, right? And how you can utilize the application to be able to navigate from city to city. And here it is. That's New York. That's our whole backyard with a bunch of deals. If you haven't downloaded the application, you can do it right now. Just go ahead and scan to download free to use code, and you can just do that while we're speaking. For those of you guys haven't downloaded,
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you for AutoPay this week.
for those of you guys that have downloaded it, let's go ahead and go right into it. So our application, up till just about yesterday, we just uploaded a new version, allowed our community of users to be able to handle one of many things, right? Some of those things that are very real estate investor centric is acquisitions, dispositions, property research and data, right? Those were the three main functionalities of FlippBidd, right? And of course, the under the whole umbrella, which is it actually is true to what we built it for, which is a community-based application. What that means is our members of our community are uploading properties and the notifications are going out in real time or within a few minutes because the community is growing and the system on the back end gets bogged down a little bit when someone's uploading, or people are uploading 10 or 20 properties in a day. Then we have to notify 600 people for each property. So within a few minutes, everything will be, everyone will get notified. That's pretty much real time. But acquisitions, when you find these deals and get notified of these deals, you can go ahead and just click on that notification you get on your phone, whether it's iOS or Android. And then that notification will take you right to the property details page. What does that look like? So if I got notified of a property somewhere here in New York, right, and I got notified, it would take me to a page that looks like this. Just give it 1 second. It's just going to go, there you go. And it loads. And then you'll be able to see all the property details, right? The comps, the voice note. Yes, we allow you to put voice notes, which we have recently increased. Next week, another version is coming out. We'll get into that in a few. We're working at one main feature at a time. But you can see the person's voice note, what they're offering, what the offer is, what that investment's about, the property information, sales comps, mortgage data, any foreclosure info that might be on there, and of course the MLS history to figure out if it's listed or not, right? Most of the time it's not going to be because a lot of our community of users are uploading deals that they have under lock and key, whether it's an assignable contract or it's their deal outright and they want to upload it. So when you get those notifications, you're getting notified of properties that are being uploaded by our community of users. So if something piques your interest, keep in mind, don't shy away from the price. And I always tell people this all the time. Everything in life is negotiable, right? Everything, right? Just because you are going to offer something doesn't mean it'll get accepted, but at least it'll create an entry point to networking with each other. And you'll get to hear those names and familiarize with someone who's uploading properties constantly. So they have a pretty good inventory and they're the real deal, right? The only way you're going to get acclimated with the system and with each other is by clicking on that chat or call feature that we allow you to do from that property details page. And guess what? When you view the property, the person who uploaded will get notified in real time that you're viewing it. So, they know you're looking at it anyway. So don't be shy if the number is close to something that piques your interest, or it's right around that number that you feel that you may be able to bargain or submit a reasonable offer. I say do it, right? Also with the application, it allows you to do dispo, right? Instead of acquisitions, dispo. We spoke a little bit about that. Dispositions are easy. For those of you guys who haven't seen this, we allow you to go into a certain market or even down to the address or even into the street, right? And why is that important? So for those of you guys, and I know some of you have asked me in the past, I love the application. I don't want to disclose the house number until I get to know who's connecting with me. Absolutely, you can do that, but it's a give and take, right? So if you want to go ahead and pull data of that property, you're going to have to provide a full address. But for those of you who are, they want to be a little bit more on the conservative side and not share the house number, all you have to do is put in a street name, city, and address and still be able to upload a property. How many of you guys have a property out there that you would like for me to show how to upload that without the house number? Anybody?
You can do one with it if you want.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's 1197
1197
East Poplar Avenue,
East Poplar Avenue,
Selmer, Tennessee.
Selmer, Tennessee. Okay. So guys, it populated the first address, right? If I click on it, it's going to go ahead and take me right to that location. Now, because Chris was able to give me a full property address, FlippBidd's going to go ahead and return the favor and say, here's the data, right? And if you're looking to do acquisitions, dispositions, research, and pro services, you can let Orion know. And by the way, Orion is now your new best friend. and we'll get into what Orion does, is going to help you do acquisitions, dispositions, property research and data, and request pro services, right? So for now, let's say I'm Chris, it's my deal. I want to go ahead and dispo it. I'm going to click on dispositions, and then I go sell my deal. Guess what? It's going to already pull all the data for you, right? It's already there. When this property gets uploaded, all that data will be already pulled. So when we upload this property, let's just put it up there. Let's say I'm just throwing any number up there, Chris, don't mind. It's 250. It's a wholesale deal. I have some property images. Here you go. This is the property. Leaving a test voice note for our demo today for this amazing property in Selmer, Tennessee. Leave the voice note up to 15 seconds and you upload it and you agree to terms and conditions. It's that quick. You'll be able to just go ahead and upload the property and notify everybody. Guess what? When I view this property that just uploaded, first thing you're going to notice is that a little icon got created around that property. Chris, don't worry, I'm going to delete it, but I'm going to let you upload it because that's your deal. I'm just here for test purposes. But if I view this property, right, guys, guess what? Property information is here. Mortgage data is here. Sales comps are here. We were able to pull 2 comps within a mile radius in the ARV high, average, and low for that particular property. Some mortgage data, we were able to pull there's no foreclosure, it's not in foreclosure, and it's not listed. However, I'm going to go ahead and delete this property and then upload it in a way where I don't want to disclose the 1197 house address. So how do I do that? Let's go ahead and delete this property. I'm going to go into profiles. I'm going to go to my uploads. This is where all your controls are, right? For your user base, for your properties. I'm going to click on, by the way, I tell everybody, these are not just some pretty little buttons that just there for design. These are your controls for each property. When you click on these 3 little buttons, it allows you to share the property, edit the property, delete the property, and mark it under contract. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and delete it. East Poplar Avenue, Selmer, Tennessee. So I'm going to delete this and then go back and show you what that looks like from the user side in case you didn't want to share that information. So let's just go and say, look, I want to go ahead and lean on the conservative side. I just want to upload this property, but I don't want to share the house number. So what you would do is just put in Poplar Avenue, Selmer, Tennessee, just like it is. It'll pop up. It's probably going to point you to the middle of the street, okay? Which is okay. It gives a person a roundabout idea of what that property looks like. I'm going to go back to dispositions. I'm going to tell Orion I'm going to dispose of this property. I'm going to hit sell my deal. And then it's going to say, look, you want to sell your property? Just hit the add button to add it. Okay, add the property. The window looks a little different. Why does it look different? Because you have to now manually put in some of that data. Why? Because FlippBidd doesn't know what the address is because you never gave it a house number. It's okay. You could put in, share your Google Drive, just like we showed you guys, right? Share your Google Drive. Let people see all the pictures and videos that you have in your Google Drive. Here's my demo folder with all the pictures as well as the videos. Add that. Price $250, same price. Sale type, wholesale. Beds, 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,250 square feet. Asset type, it's a single family. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing and add that same picture, leaving another voice note for the demo today for our network and tech night. Leave your 15 seconds, which is going to increase to 30 seconds in about a week. And then just agree to your terms and conditions. Decide if you want to sell to the entire network or just to our verified investors. We do have a vetting process. It's fairly simple. If you guys see the little request verified investor license, as long as you pass the test, which is 3 or 4 screens of giving us a little background on yourself, and we vet you, we'll activate your verified investor license.
No, but it's a smart business though to have that policy.
Phil will do it within, like I said, within 24 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this property. Appreciate that, Chris, for giving me the property. Now I'm going to go ahead and upload it. By the way, exactly the same deal. Without the house number, seller information is there. It's in the middle of the street, but it'll
on the way, I guess,
where that property is. And then I'm gonna go ahead and sorry guys, I'm muting you guys just for reading. I know some of you accidentally have the you're on other calls, but I'm just gonna mute you if you don't mind. So you're uploading a property, it's still there, people will still get notifications, except you're not disclosing the house number. So that's dispositions. Now, what do we do? How do we do property research and data? First of all, let me go back to my profile. Let me go ahead and go into my upload so I don't get in trouble. And also, Chris can go ahead and upload this awesome property and share it with you guys. I'm going to click on the 3-button icon button here and delete this property so it's off the map, and then Chris has an opportunity to upload it. Awesome. Let's go back. Now, let's use another example because I like to keep this interactive. If you guys have seen me online, I like to pick on people, okay? In a good way, right? Anybody else have an address that they want to share with me, and I'll delete it right away, and I'll show you how to pull some research and data on that. Anybody new to the community that would like to see how to pull comps, research, other data on the properties, and use our FlippBidd one-touch feature? Anybody have an address? Anyone? No one? No ones?
I don't have an address, but if you can find something in Stockbridge, Georgia, that'd be great.
Okay. So let's, what was the address? What was this town in Georgia?
Stockbridge.
Stockbridge?
Yeah, right outside of Atlanta.
Stockbridge, Georgia.
Stock-
Okay. So how do we go ahead and travel from city to city and state to state? Well, we showed you one way, right? You can go ahead and put it in here. Or you can ask Orion to plug it in. Hey, Orion, bring me to Stockbridge, Georgia, USA.
Finding. Sorry, can't find.
Okay.
Please try again.
Okay, so I think we're already there, but it'll bring you to city and states. It'll also activate, by the way, Orion, if anybody needs to know the prompts, it'll activate various prompts. Orion, take me to my visits.
Finding.
So here's your my visits page. So you can actually activate various screens and features using Orion. And yes, guys, we are working on Orion. And not to anyone's surprise, eventually over the course of the next year, Orion will be turned into a full AI engine for acquisitions and dispositions to be able to upload properties based on the ROI you're looking for, and also be able to acquire properties for the ROI that you're looking for based on the acquisition price, based on the amount you're borrowing, how long you intend to hold it, and it'll give you a price to be able to submit a POF and LOI on your behalf. So we're very excited about that, but that's about a year out. But going back into Stockbridge, I don't have an exact property, but in order to do some acquisitions, let's go into a residential neighborhood. This looks like a residential neighborhood right around here. It has a bunch of properties. We have what's called a FlippBidd one-touch feature. So this property right here looks like a good one. You could literally take your thumb, guys, for if you guys haven't tested this out, press and hold down on the property, any property in the United States. Right now, it's more so residential centric. Next year, depending on the funding we're looking to raise, we'll be adding commercial, retail, industrial, as well as office. Same way. So Orion pops up and says, "What are you looking to do, Ken?" So I'm looking to just do some research. I'm not looking to acquire the property. I just want to pull some research on 241 Eagle Way, Stockbridge. When you hit the request data, it's going to pull up that it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2,426 feet, right? And when you click on the view property button, you can click on the street view on that picture. And just like any Google technology, Google Earth, Google Maps, you'll be able to move around. It looks like a nice area and looks like a beautiful house, right? So here you go. Here's the house. Love the tree-lined blocks, like really manicured, very nice. And so, okay, I'm interested. So let's learn more about 241 Eagle, Stockbridge, Georgia, right? Here's the property information. 2,446 square feet, property taxes, 2 floors. Here's some sales comps. Here's some ARVs, high, average, and lows. Some mortgage data. Looks like a Leon Beeman owns it. Doesn't look like Leon's in foreclosure, so I think he's in good standings with his lender, and it's not listed, so it's definitely off market right now. Now, how do we go ahead and make a deal with Lee? So I'll show you real quickly how to do in-app skip tracing, which, by the way, is included within the application. There's no extra fee. I know a lot of people ask, like, how much is it, Ken? It comes with your license. So how do we find how to reach Leon Beeman? Well, remember we have my visits, that page we went to. How do we go to there? So you go back into your profile. That's that little icon. Hopefully you guys are sharing your faces. You guys are, sharing your businesses on your profile page and your back end, your background, whether you're a wholesaler, whatever it is. Show this to everybody. We're the other guys. We like full transparency. We like everybody get to know each other. We enjoy that the community is growing, and we want everybody to work with each other. We don't hide people. We don't hide homes. We don't hide what we're doing, what they're doing, so we can middleman the operation. No, that's not our business model. This is a really community-based model, and we encourage you guys to add your background and your cover. So back to my visits. How did we get a hold of Leon, the owner? Well, every time you visit a property on our application, you are virtually visiting it. So it shows up under your My Visits. Once you click on that, here is where you can skip trace one or many or all of your properties. So the ones you've already skip traced show up on top because we look at it like that's the priority list. And then everything else is underneath. So here's 241 Eagle Way. Once you hit the check, you hit the skip trace button. Yep, you give it authorization. And by the way, this is user specific. You're not skip tracing and giving the skip trace data out to everyone in our community. It's only for your phone and your eyes and ears. So once it's skip trace, just click on the property and here we go. We got some skip trace information for 241 Eagle Way. We were able to capture one phone number and one email. Sometimes we can max pull 4 phone numbers and 4 emails. Do we have to leave the system to make the phone call? No, not at all. Just click on the phone and dial out, and you'll get to Leon. Hopefully the number is working. If you can't reach Leon, why not give it a chance? Email him, same way. Click on the email. It'll open up your email from us to them, to him, and you could type in whatever you like. And you could try, as many times as you like to call and email. So you don't have to leave the application for skip tracing. Yes, we only showed one phone number and one email for Leon, but with our data aggregator, we're able to pull up to like 4 phone numbers and 4 emails. So that is a very, very high level demo of the application. Now, I know someone out there mentioned, hey guys, I don't know if that was I don't know who that was, but it was somebody that mentioned we would love to see what your buy box is. We have that buy box. You guys have that buy box. If you guys are a verified investor, and if you're not a verified investor, let's get you to becoming a verified investor by creating some opportunities for you guys after networking with each other and closing some deals. And I'm going to show you how Pro Services works in a second. So you could be able to do this. You can click on this button, this little house icon that you see here. That's your buy box as a verified investor. You can click on that icon, select the asset type that you're looking for. So maybe I just had a closing. I'm about $200,000-$300,000, liquid in capital. I want to buy a multifamily. I'm looking for all sales type. Nope, I'm looking for, and I know John mentioned that he looks for subject to. So yeah, let's look for a subject to property. Maybe between 200 and 300,000 because I'm fairly liquid. I don't want to spend all my cash, and I want to look in the state of Tennessee, right? Where John's interested in one of the markets. And here we go. Once you hit that, hit the send request button, the application will let you know that you're about to notify everybody in our network that you're looking for a subject to property. If you're not getting the notifications yet, they'll come slowly within the next 5 minutes or so that I, Ken Singh, am looking for a property, a subject to up to 200,000 to 300,000 in the Tennessee region, right? You could do that as much as you like, right? I wouldn't go overboard with it because some people will stop taking you seriously if you're putting in a notification every 5 minutes. But again, very high level view. Why are we here today? So we're very excited to roll out Pro Services, and we have done so. So now if I view this property, again, let's start from scratch. And you're looking into a property. Now, here's the important part, guys. Don't forget this. You don't have to own this property. you don't have to sell the property. You don't have to dispose of the property. Maybe you're just looking to see if you'll get approved based on basic credentials. You could click and hold down your button or search the actual address and click on Pro Services, right? That's available for everybody, right? Within your license cost. Hit the request service button and say, look, I'm a borrower, right? My name is Ken Singh, or it's my LLC. Put in a credit score of whatever your credit score is, right? Say 650, 700. My track record, I closed 3 to 6 deals over the last year. I'm looking for, and somebody mentioned DSCR. I'm looking for a DSCR loan, right? My LTV right now that I'm looking to borrow is about 90%. I have about $25,000 in capital on my hand. It is an investment property. I'm looking to pick it up for about $150,000, or I picked it up for $150,000. The ARV, right, is around 275, right? Yes, I ran out of construction money. I'm looking for another 15,000 in construction because I want to go ahead and make the kitchen a little nicer, the bathroom a little nicer. I want to put better siding. I underestimated. I need a little extra cash, right? Was the contract executed? It'll ask you. Yes, I have an executed contract. No, I don't, because this is important for lenders. And I know Lee can understand, right? This is always important when you're lending money. So, but no, I'm a current owner. I'm looking to borrow money. I'm not going to do this because we actually have 4 national lenders live, specifically in a lot of the major states like Texas, Florida, Georgia. We're onboarding one in the Northeast over here, and that lender is actually available in, I think, up to 40 states. So on a weekly basis, we're onboarding lenders to get them real-time leads from our users that are looking to get pre-approved within 24 hours based on this information that I'm showing you. How long did that take? Took 10 seconds. Once you hit the submit button, I'm not going to do it here. That's going to go out to the lender in that specific market. They'll reach out to you and they'll let you know, listen, you're looking for a DSCR loan, you're looking for a fix and flip loan. We have some products based on the information you provided me, because they're also going to get information on that property because they know who you are, but we're also, because of FlippBidd's technology, going to be able to show them the ARVs, the comps, the property data. Based on all of that combined, they're going to be able to make a sound judgment decision if they want to go ahead and get you approved. Of course, there's there's more steps involved for lending, but at least we gave you a straight line path to other lenders that could provide many different loan products directly through the system without having to share or go to your attorneys or title companies or say, hey, listen, do you know a lender that may lend me some money on this? Whatever your story is, you could share with the lenders, and maybe it won't be a home run every single time, but we have the lenders to be able to assist you with your lending. So with that said, here's a little sneak peek for what's coming up for those of you that want to join next month's Network and Tech Night. That's the live version. The new version that's going up looks a little different, right? So not only do we have Orion, we've already have Pro Services, but we're going to make that navigation part a lot easier for you guys to be able to click on your map search filters and be able to search for every single property. By the way, that Z is the Lead Zolo icon. Yes, we partnered up with Lead Zolo for motivated sellers that are ready for you guys to strike a deal with them. And we'll roll out Lead Zolo leads, all of our community-based leads. And yes, I'm keeping everybody in suspense. We have 2 more empty pockets here. We are also partnering up and slowly but surely with other lead generation companies where you could find their leads all over our maps. But you get to decide, not us. You decide what you want. Or do you want to just deal with our community leads or properties that our community of users uploaded? Do you want to do both? Do you want to do community and Lead Zolo, motivated sellers around that area, and also whatever's coming moving forward, in our journey of building this bigger and better and faster. So those are map builders. For those of you guys out there that are interested in getting ground level deals, meaning pre-negotiated, we want to go in and let's say even like go for distressed properties, We got you guys covered. We created, which is coming out by the end of next week, is our Polygon search filter. The Polygon search filter is this little button right here that you're seeing on the bottom right screen. You can go ahead and click that guy right there, and it'll take you to any specific. Sorry, the map is loading a little slow, but you can go ahead and point that anywhere you like. So, for example, you're a buyer in Pennsylvania, and you like the Philadelphia area. Well, you can go ahead and zone into the area that you're looking to buy, Drexel Hill, for example. You'll be able to manipulate this Polygon search any which way you like. Once you hit the search button, it'll pull all properties that are in foreclosure, list pendants. You'll be able to find, we're working on this, by the way. Don't take this data very seriously. It's still in the works. We're about to go live by end of next week. You'll be able to get pre-foreclosures in that area within the Polygon search, list pendencies, notice of defaults, and tax delinquencies. And yes, we are adding probate next year. We're also adding divorcee deals, right? These are all people you want to speak to, right? Because they're in one way or another, they're under distress, whether financial distress or some other form of hardship, and they could be your next big deal, right? Because if you could go ahead and make that deal, they want to offset those properties, and you made a deal with them, because guess what? Not only do you find these distressed properties, but they also show up in what's called our distressed property searches under your My Visits. Before, we only had My Visits, but guess what? For every property you pull in from our system, shows up under your distressed properties, and from there you can go ahead and skip trace those as well, with phone numbers and emails right from the application. So what did we add? We added pro services. We added updated map filters. We added Orion to help you with acquisitions, dispositions, and research and data. Now we got Polygon search for distressed properties, and we're partnering up with lenders and other lead generation companies. So we're very super excited about that. And as you can see, if those of you guys have been with us for some time, we're growing. Like, we're constantly doing R&D, research and development, and we can make this better and better and better. So I'm going to take a break right now. I think this is a good place. As we promised, our network and tech night, we're going to have guest speakers online, and we have two amazing people. I don't know if you guys are ready. You guys ready to be called in? Jimmie Arlene?
I think we are. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, yes, we do. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce you to an amazing couple doing some amazing things within the real estate investment coaching and investment community, Arlene and Jimmie Williams.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
How you doing? We know everyone's not going to respond back.
No,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna respond back. So you have somebody
respond back. Yeah. But I want to keep it brief and simple, because you first of all, Ken, I appreciate you, brother. You did a great job the first time explaining it, but this time, my gosh, you got better, man. I mean, you're really, really good at this.
It only took me 200 times, so
yeah. And guys, before I introduce my wife and I just want to say he knows what he's doing. I've been doing this since, real estate investing, coaching, mentoring, and wholesaling since like 2016. And I've tried tons of softwares. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a bunch of them that say they can do certain things, but they're just not. They don't work because the software is not very good, not very consistent.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking them, but there's a few out of 100. You may have 5 that are legit. But I think based on what I'm seeing here, there's no one doing what Ken is doing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not just saying that because he's my friend, but my wife can tell you I was an affiliate for several, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to name some guys.
Well, but wait.
Yeah,
before you tell them.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead and tell them how we got started, please, because I'm sure they would love to know.
Yeah, I think everybody would love to hear that story, Jimmie. Good. So tell us how you got started and how you're helping the community.
Okay. So back in 2015, when I was in Florida, my wife and I, my last job was at eBay, and I worked for eBay for 3 years. And you know, I didn't really like it. And you guys, the eBay that I work for, you probably don't know that eBay. You guys look at ebay.com. That's not what I did. I worked for a call center. So eBay, they did the phone calls and they made the websites for popular companies like Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger. And it was just a very rough job. But I realized, man, I'm not making any money here. You know? And I've been an entrepreneur since I was like 21, but I kept failing at whatever I tried to do. So I said to my wife, you know what? Real estate might be the way to go. People are making a lot of money. And I'm pretty sure y'all heard that before. People say, you know what? Real estate's the way to go. I think I can make a ton of money overnight. And you know that's not how it works. Okay. Especially when you want to do wholesaling. So I quit that job and I started going into Facebook groups, looking at seeing what other people were doing. And you guys have been on a ton of groups on Facebook where they're making all these promises. I got this property and I can sell you this property and I can make I'm making a ton of money. But most of them were daisy chains. You guys know what daisy chains are, where they have all these people, 5 or 6 people on the same deal. And by the time the deal gets to you, it's inflated. It's $100,000 more than what it's worth. And I did this every single day trying to find deals. And my wife and I must have went months before we even got a good deal in a contract.
Yep.
So here's what we did. I said, honey, I think I need to get a mentor. So I got a guy to mentor me. I was on Craigslist looking for something totally different. The guy reaches out to me. He says to me, Jimmie, listen, you're all over the place, but I'm going to show you how to make money with real estate. And he took me under his wing, and he was a broker, and he was a realtor, he was a broker, and he was a property appraiser. And he started teaching me all the things that people on Facebook don't teach you. You know what I mean? Those people are just running wild. He said, listen, whatever you do, make sure you get good off-market deals. And you can't find most of them on Facebook. Most of those deals on Facebook are not good. And so he started sending me emails of all these really good, I'm talking multifamily property, multi-million-dollar deals. And I just learned from the guy. And so my wife and I packed our bags. We moved to Atlanta, Georgia. True story, guys. Living out of our car.
Yep.
Okay, in 2018.
Yep.
Had an old Mercedes, a beat-up Mercedes. Moved it.
95 or 92? I think it was 95.
Yeah,
95.
95, yeah. And we lived with a friend, and we started our first real estate company in 2019. And we started a big Facebook group. Started out with 100 members. Guys, in 2020, we went from making $20,000. And the year of the pandemic, we made $550,000. I mean, it just took off, right? And the group has grown to 37,000 members. And in that group, we have a bunch of realtors. Ken's in that group as well. Realtors, investors, a lot of finance guys in there. You have a lot of people that are very, very hungry. The biggest market in the group is probably wholesalers, but they don't know what they're doing. And so, like many of us, we don't know how to ask for help. I mean, that guy came to me, you know what I mean? I was crying out for it, but I didn't know how to ask for it.
Yep.
So out of that passion, we created a group of mentorship. We basically show you how to start a real estate business and how to really actually find good deals. So I have a YouTube channel, okay, where I did a bunch of videos. I have like 500 videos on there, how to do this and how to do that. And I did it for free. And I realized something. Sometimes when you do things for free, people don't always appreciate it. So that's when we started our real estate coaching program. And you guys can find me on YouTube if you just type in Jimmie Williams Real Estate. That's actually a new channel, but I have an older channel where I talk about business, finance, and real estate. Okay, but type in Jimmie Williams Real Estate and you'll see me on there with an IE. And we started. I'm sorry about that. Arlene said something.
No, that's okay. I'm typing in the information now in the chat so everybody can find you, honey.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So my actual website is, Ken, do you mind if I give the website or no?
Yeah, actually, I didn't want to cut you off, Jimmie. So listen, I can tell you right now, we have all walks of life on our demonstrations and our Never Tech Night.
Okay.
I think everybody here can appreciate your story and also would love to connect with you. So maybe if you could share your Facebook channel, I know that's our community. We're all one. You'll get them approved and they'll be on there. And also your contact information. I think they would love to connect with you.
Awesome. My wife is putting it in the chat right now. Jimmie Williams Live is JimmieWilliamsLive.com is the website. The YouTube channel is, they got to type in Jimmie Williams Real Estate, not all together.
Oh, my bad. All right.
And when you guys see that, you'll see 2 channels. One has 17,000 subscribers. That's the older channel, and the channel with the real estate investors, real estate coaching. I just started that. But you guys sound like you kind of know what you're doing already. So, you know, my recommendation would be to go ahead, and if you're not, you know, if you're a little more advanced, we have a program where we teach a little more advanced stuff, like, you know, how to buy multifamily property, okay, with no money down. You know, all you come up with is like closing costs. We have financing, we have lending for that kind of thing. But what Ken is doing here is more single family, and I don't want to leave that vein, but if you guys are interested, you could actually do that. But I'll let Arlene tell you more about the classes and we'll be done, okay?
Yeah, I'm going so fast. I was trying to put everything in the chat, which that didn't work. So first of all, I love the chill music. Love, 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 love. I'm an 80s girl. And I didn't get a chance. We didn't get a chance to tell you guys like where we're from and stuff like that. So I was born in Jamaica, actually, Kingston, Jamaica, but I grew up in the United States. I've been living here my whole life for the last 40 years. And I met my husband 15 years ago in New York. So I'm a New Yorker, just like my boy Phil and my boy Ken. So we're all New Yorkers in the house. I probably hit every borough because everyone who knows that pays rent in New York, you do that sometimes. But I was in a completely different industry. I actually was in fashion and, you know, had no connection to real estate at all. And I sort of got into it by default because of Jimmie, but we were living in Florida, and yeah, it was rough. It was a rough situation because obviously at the time the cost of living was rough, and not only just that, you know, we were just trying to find our niche and find ourselves, and it wasn't until we sort of transitioned to Georgia where, you know, it was like we took off like a duck to water. I remember, you know, the pushing, and Jimmie was doing free coaching sessions, and he would be losing his voice, and he had the little whiteboard, and, you know, he looked like what was it? This is a teacher. You know, he just looked like a professor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're also trying to multitask and share our group with you, but our program caters to mostly newbies. But you don't have to be a newbie to take real estate classes. We believe in networking, and we believe in sharing knowledge, because that's how you become better at what you do, you know?
Right.
So, you know, we're excited about our partnership, working with Ken and working with Phil. They're a phenomenal team. And I know Ken brought up within the introduction that we were going to be comparing a little bit to Investorlift. And I'm going to tell you, part of that has to do with, you know, some of our students that have kind of come to us, and I've kind of shared this with Ken and with Phil. Part of our students that have kind of come to us and they've said, you know, I just wish there was a way to pull all the pieces together. And unfortunately, everyone doesn't start out as a wholesaler with Investorlift money. I mean, we all know what their monthly is. I mean, it's not a shy at them or anything, because they're really very good at what they do. However, everyone doesn't start out in that place. And it was such a kind of godsend, actually, to meet Ken and Phil, because honestly, they make their program so user-friendly and so easy. And that we can't wait to roll out together with them as partners. And that's the whole point of us being here. We're so excited about rolling out all of the new things in conjunction with what we'll learn as a wholesaler. But imagine having a program where you don't have to go to Fiverr to pay someone to skip trace, guys. Like, everyone who doesn't spend money on skip tracing on Fiverr? Seriously, with the old leads. I mean, I can't even. So between the dispo, which another thing is, a lot of newbies tend to be intimidated with that part of it, because you haven't actually built up your buyer list. You don't really know the lingo, who to talk to, how to talk. And this is where we come in the coaching. This is where we give you the lingo. This is where we kind of talk to you. This is where we kind of hold your hand a little bit. However, I love the fact that FlippBidd has made everything so accessible. You can talk to one another. You can network. You can share information. It's not complicated at all. We're not doing rocket science. We're We're just wholesaling deals. So it's really easy.
Right.
It's really easy, and a lot easier than when a lot of us, I'm sure, got started. You know, I know there are a lot of seasoned investors here, but again, we want to make this process as seamless as possible. You know, I love all the rollouts. I love how exciting everything is going to be and so accessible with the information. And it just makes it easier if you're new into this industry. We have students that, I'm not trying to embarrass people, but everyone doesn't take to wholesaling like a duck to water. The process is frustrating. There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of, you have to be persistent. We all know. But wouldn't it be nice to have another partner that can kind of step alongside with you and kind of hold your hand a little bit and say, hey, okay, well, this is how you skip trace. This is how you find your first comps. And you can do it all within the FlippBidd software. And it makes it easier because their AI functionality, which makes the net wider, which makes it easier to track new deals. You mentioned about probates, you mentioned about people with divorce. I mean, this is going to be a phenomenal thing. So I'm not here so much to just talk about just all of that, but definitely we would love for you guys to check us out. We did share a lot of our links. We're here to answer any questions and just go along with the flow. We love the energy in the room.
Right.
We love. So we'll probably you'll see us another time for another network night, another tech network night.
Right.
And yeah, that's pretty much all I had in mind.
Yeah. Well, I want to say one last thing to Ken. So again, guys, Arlene will tell you this. When I really started getting serious about real estate wholesaling, there's other ways to make money. Like you can be, and that's what I did. I went to several companies. I became an affiliate. Okay. Ken, do you have an affiliate program yet or no? Not yet.
Yeah. We do have an affiliate program.
Okay, awesome. Okay, because guys, Property Radar, Bird Dog Bot, PropStream, Privy. I was an affiliate, and I still get the paycheck right now
with all of those.
Yeah, but no one's doing what Ken is doing. Okay, I think that the major issue, the part that what I noticed, and I actually had a guy that made a software that did some good things, but it didn't last long. It's hard to make really good software that's reliable. What I think bar none he does the best is everything updates real time. And the fact that you have everything with this whole thing with AI, it's just taken over. And I can't see anybody, getting ahead of you right now. You're ahead of it. We just have to get it out there in front of the masses. And I think that's what you guys should do. You really have something special. And by the way, my wife and I, we normally show our faces because we're everywhere, but she wasn't feeling well today. And, so our apologies, guys. But Ken, thanks again for having us on, my brother. I'm not going to hold you anymore. Okay?
Definitely.
Awesome, guys. First and foremost, guys, thank you so much. I know everyone's a little camera shy, but if we could show some love to our Jimmie and Arlene Williams, a little thumbs up from their feedback, a little, thank you so much, guys. Just a little thumbs up, guys. And let me tell you, like, such humble beginnings, and they're like just so devoted to the work they do, and honestly, guys, like, the feeling's mutual. By the way, for those of you guys, there we go, we're getting some thumbs up. Let's get some more for Jimmie and Arlene while I'm speaking. There you go. Honestly, we're just as excited because, guys, let me tell you something. What Jimmie and Arlene are actually doing and how this is gonna be up. But there you go. We got some more hellos.
Yeah, the wife can't show herself, but I'm showing myself. I don't look like, I got the beard cut. Hey guys.
It's okay. There you go. There you go. Jimmie's in. So, guys, I'm telling you, we're just as excited to work with Jimmie and Arlene. I'll tell you, this is the first time that, if you know what I'm about to say, how powerful this is, it's where theory, coaching, REI, right, and real estate meets practice. You're actually applying it on technology and getting feedback in real time as you're being coached.
Absolutely.
So, like, this is like, and I'm not saying this to toot my or Jimmie or Arlene's horn or Phil's horn or like anybody within the two companies. I haven't seen anybody do this. And I've done a lot of research where people will get on stage and they'll say, give us $600 and you can go ahead and follow us for the month. And we're going to train you, and actually showed you where to find the deals, and actually show you how to get the loans on them, and actually showed you how to network with each other. Far less using technology to do it. That's an easy to use technology. We're super pumped about this. And I'll be honest with you guys, You guys crushed it, and we're gonna do some big things. So before I move on to anything else, does anybody have questions? I'll take a short pause before we get to our main event, right? Our TKO series. I'll just spend the next 5 minutes. Let's take some questions. Phil, do we have any questions on the back end?
No, actually, there was one, but I think we could take that offline. Chris was actually saying that he mentioned that he would like to be an affiliate, but we could speak about that offline.
Yeah, guys, anybody that wants to inquire about the affiliate program, we do have a certain vetting process that goes behind it, because at the same time, we can't just make anybody an affiliate. But if you feel like that this would be a perfect marriage and you guys want to go ahead and promote the product, connect with Phil on the back end. Phil will share his email with you, and then you guys can go ahead and discuss it further detail. So with that said, I think we're going to go ahead and get into our main event in our TKO and series night. So let's get that kicked off, right? And let me see if I could share my screen. Just give me 1 second. And all right, so here we go.
Thank you. We're done.
The millions of things around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it.
Barely hear it.
All right, guys, that was my "Let's Get Ready to Rumble" Michael Buffer, but maybe it was a little too low. I'm sure you guys heard it. So all right, all jokes aside, so I know a lot of guys over here, right? A lot of you out there that are either veterans, right, and experts at technology, or just getting into it and figuring out, look, there's so much stuff out there. Jimmie kind of hit the nail on the head. There's a lot of products out there, right? And sometimes we don't know which ones to go with. So we're going to start doing a TKO series starting today with Investorlift versus FlippBidd. And by the way, guys, I want to point this out. We asked ChatGPT. This is an unbiased question. ChatGPT, for those of you guys that don't know what that is the biggest machine learning AI engine in the world. Right? Gemini may be a close second, but definitely ChatGPT. And this is what we asked. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Is everything's good? You see it? Okay, so let's go right into it, right? And I think you guys are going to appreciate this. We want to teach you guys of what's available out there. We're not soliciting. We're just letting you know while you're on the FlippBidd Network and Tech Night what's good and bad about both products. Okay, we're not going to talk just bad about somebody else, because that's not cool, right? And we're not just going to toot our own horn. We're here to help our community, just like everybody else, just like Jimmie, just like Arlene. That's why they're on there as well. But we want to help you guys and give you as much support as possible. So how do we start? We asked we asked ChatGPT, provide a comparison between Investorlift and FlippBidd, which I'm showing you right here, and how they each benefit the real estate investment community, and who overall is the better value proposition. The answer is hidden underneath this. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But for those of you guys that have come up on our previous demos, a lot of people have asked, so what differentiates you from Investorlift anyway? So we're going to go ahead and share that with you. So with our Tech Night, our TKO series, we're going to break that down. So the business model comparison to Investorlift, right? What's their model? They focus on helping real estate investors, wholesalers, flippers, and they help connect with buyers and sellers. They also have a marketplace, right? And a buyer network for real estate deals. They have a huge marketplace and a bunch of users on their application. Now, they offer a platform to manage property dispo transactions and their marketing, right? It's marketing focused and centric. They primarily target wholesalers, flippers with high volume transactions. Keep that in mind. They, just like Jimmie had mentioned, some of us that are out there that don't do 30, 40, 50 deals every year, 100 deals, right? This may not apply to, but again, some of us will. They're doing fantastic, guys, right? High volume transactions. They emphasize on property dispo and buyer connections. Absolutely. That's something we all need. What does FlippBidd do? Well, we're comprehensive. And by the way, just reiterating, all we did was copy and paste this from the feedback we got on ChatGPT. We challenge you while I'm talking to take this same question. We always want to put out that challenge, put it into ChatGPT and ask, and I guarantee you're going to get the same response. So what is FlippBidd's business value, right? In comparison, what's the model, right? So it's a real estate investment platform targeting investors, buyers, sellers, and wholesalers. Absolutely correct. We provide a vertically integrated system. I think that's the word that Jimmie was looking for, all in one place, right? We're not so fragmented. Everything is vertically integrated, right? And that covers acquisitions, dispositions, property research, and data. And now pro services. And we showed you that. The proof was in the pudding, right? We provide we offer, interactive maps, which you can see right here, right? That's a no-brainer. Everybody can see that they're all interactive. Skip tracing, which we went through, in-app calling and messaging to streamline your real estate operations. We encourage you guys to connect with each other through the application. I haven't seen that done anywhere, right? So we focus on all aspects of real estate investment operations, acquisitions, research, dispositions, right? We include lead generation, right? We just spoke about that. In about 30 days, we're rolling out Leadzolo, motivated seller leads, and of course, distressed property leads as well through our Polygon search filter. So that's lead generation, right? And we give you the tools that are built in, like the ROI calculators, pro services, as I mentioned. Virtual tours are on their way next year. Very, very complex. We want to do it the right way. And what we do is we really provide a full life cycle around the real estate investment experience. Now, what does the pricing look like? Okay, well, comparison to Investorlift, they have higher pricing tiers based on volume and features, right? So as you add more features, right, and you go into more volume, it's going to go into a higher price tier. The basic plan starts around $2,000 a year. You can break that down to monthly cost. That's the bare bones, right? And it can go up to $30,000 a year. Listen, kudos to them. They're making money. That's fantastic. There's a lot of users that utilize them, and they have a great investor bucket, right? So they have a lot of people on there. Depending on the access levels and features, so it's really, like Jimmie had mentioned earlier, aimed at large scale investors and groups with significant deal volume. ChatGPT is reiterating that. FlippBidd, again, we didn't touch this. This is untouched, unfiltered, unedited. Affordable pricing for individual investors. A lot of them are on the application, on the demo today, and a lot of them in our community, right? And smaller teams. We really wanted to focus and hone in on that. Right now, we do provide a lifetime license. By the way, guys, don't get mad at us. October 1 is the last day. So you got the rest of September to lock in your lifetime license, not a sales pitch. After adding all of these things, it's going back up to a regular price. Don't mind this. We've decided not to bump the price up to $149.99 a month. We're keeping it $129.99 a month on App Store and Google Play. But because you guys are our friends and you guys are probably referred by somebody, or especially if you know that guy Phil with the New York Giants hat, go Giants, right? He'll be able to get you a URL for his specific URL, and we'll knock it down to $109.99. But you got to get to know Phil first, right? Or even better yet, get to know Jimmie and Arlene and let us know how we can help. And they'll give you their URL as well. So price will increase to $129. Don't mind, it's not $149. But for now, for the next 5 days, it'll be $49. So features with comparison with Investorlift, primary focus on connecting sellers with buyers, strong buyer network, huge buyer network, right? They have awesome marketing tools that every wholesaler investor needs, right? But they're limited in scope. I didn't add that. ChatGPT did. Don't kill the messenger. Limited in scope for acquisition strategies and property research. You can't do skip tracing. You can't just click a button and get comps and data on properties, whether you're looking to buy or dispose. You can't do that. FlippBidd is an all-in-one platform offering tools for acquisitions, dispositions, property research, and data. and real-time lead generation, Polygon search for distressed properties, skip tracing with in-app calling and messaging, integrated ROI calculator with virtual property tours coming next year, not available yet, access to motivated seller leads from LeadZolo, and a broader range of services for various aspects of the real estate investments, right? Now, this is by the way, I want to help you guys. I want to tell you guys again, I did not edit this. So don't tell me later, this is Ken's just making up stuff and he's just, to toot his own horn. So what did ChatGPT say? The comparison highlights FlippBidd offers a more comprehensive real estate investment tool set at a competitive price, while Investorlift primarily caters to high volume wholesalers with a narrower focus on buyer connections and dispositions. So what was the overall proposition? Investorlift, ideal for high volume wholesalers. So if you guys are out there, they're the way to go, man. I mean, they have a really good bucket of investors, and with high volume operations, you could get a good bang for your buck, right? For larger teams that need to market properties to larger buyer pools, but it comes with a high cost, right? And it mainly focuses on dispositions rather than a full real estate life cycle. Who's the winner? It looks like FlippBidd came out to have, offers a better overall value for most real estate investors, specifically those in need of a comprehensive solution, right? For acquisitions, research, lead generation, dispositions at an affordable pricing and all-in-one functionality. So the winner is, as you can see there, it in fact, for the network, for the TKO night, it was us. It is winner, FlippBidd, for its wide range of tools, right? And accessibility and affordability, making it a well-rounded solution for investors at all levels. That is the exact answer that they gave us here. So you know that for all you guys that are, not convinced, that was the feedback from the biggest machine learning platform in the world. And so we came out on top in regards to the well-roundedness and to being appealing to investors at all levels. So we're super, super proud of that. And there you go. So I think the TKO goes to FlippBidd on this one. And we're going to go ahead and now, by the way, before I lose anybody, because we're almost running out of time, next month, if you want to scan the code and book a seat, we're doing Deal Machine versus FlippBidd. The month after, Property Source versus FlippBidd, Privy, and we're just going to go all down the road. We're going to keep doing this every month. With that said, does anybody have any questions so far about the TKO series, questions on our application, and what you thought about what you heard during the discussion on Investorlift versus FlippBidd? Any questions? Don't be shy, guys. Dr. Vernon, I see Dr. Vernon's on there. John, any questions?
I was going to. So
go ahead, John.
I don't know if you brought up about the Polygon search and the LeadZolo. When is that going to be live on our apps?
It'll be live by November 1. It's only 30 days away.
Okay.
So in the next week and a half, by the end of next week, you'll have Polygon search with distressed properties. And then the last thing, what's up, Dr. Vernon? And we're gonna go ahead and get LeadZolo all rolled in by November 1. And that's gonna be available on your pro license.
Okay.
Again, guys, John already took the plunge. He's got his lifetime license. I think some of you have as well, like Eureka and somebody and Dr. Vernon. I don't know if you have, but I know I see some familiar names and faces. Tisha, I'm telling you, don't beat up my guy Phil and say, I want that lifetime license October 1. Because if we do it for you, you're gonna tell 2 more people, and then Phil's gonna get a call like, well, that's not fair. How come he got it? He's my friend. She's my friend. We work together. Like, it's going to cause havoc. So take a plunge. You don't have to try it out for the next month. At least you'll be locked in. If you change your mind, you could always cancel. It's a month-to-month bill anyway. And yes, you will have all these features that we spoke about today. Anybody else, guys? Any questions?
Yeah, I have something. Again, for everyone, for all the investors out there, if there is no deal that you see out there, well, soon we'll have the other functions by next week. But in the meantime, feel free for you to do a buy box, right? Do your Find My Deal feature, and hopefully someone will reach out to you.
Absolutely. And again, those of you out there that are wholesaling and feel like, listen, I'm not comfortable uploading deals, we showed you how to do it. Just like if you were to use Constant Contact, because I know some of you guys do it. I get those emails in my spam. You hide your the address, the house number, and you put in the rest of the address. Well, you could do that on FlippBidd as well. But it's a give and take. Like I said, we won't be able to give you all the sales comps and everything unless you give the full address. But upload it, let the community know you got something, and let's connect with each other. How many of you guys have been doing a lot of research? Because I do want to speak about that real quickly, because we do get a whole list of people, you guys, people in our community pulling a lot of data. What are you guys doing with that? I'm curious. It's like every day, like 20, 30, 40, 20, 30, 40, like properties nationally being just pulled for research. Anybody want to share it? Because I would love to get some feedback. What are you guys doing with all that data? And what's happening in your world? Don't be shy, guys. I'll call you out. I know who's pulling the data. I see the names. I see the names. It's all good. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But listen, whatever you guys are doing, I hope it's helping. If it's helping and you're getting a little bit more accustomed to the application, it's making your life just a little bit easier. If you're still camera shy, just give everybody a thumbs up here. Just give us a thumbs up. Let us know that it's all good and you guys are, having fun with it, and you guys are, liking what you see, and just look. It's like a DJ playing some tunes, right? They get the crowd pumping on the dance floor. They're gonna keep going, right? So you give us a thumbs up. We're just gonna keep going, making it better and better. We promise you that. So, with that said, guys, any questions before we wrap up for tonight's network night?
Winston actually has a question. He says, really interested, but I need to see the webinar from the beginning to get the nuts and bolts of this service. Please. So he just wants to know when we're going to have this up on YouTube.
Great question. So guys, by the way, so if you guys came in late, we are going to be uploading this to YouTube. It is being recorded, and then we'll be able to send you the YouTube link. Just keep an eye out for your email. Phil will follow up with everybody that joined and that was on here today. Again, a nice round of applause for Jimmie and Arlene sharing their story and the amazing thing that they're doing with the coaching program. Don't be shy, guys. They're an amazing couple to know. Reach out to them. Any help you want, they'll be there to give you a lending hand. With that said, that was the main event. Thank you, guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Good night.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Hey, thanks, Ken, for having us on. Thanks to all you guys.
Anyone else wants another demo, a smaller demo, make sure to book for next week as well.
Awesome. Hey, Ken, can I get a copy